Let's get started. Jovan, you have the only topic. Feel free to talk as long as you like.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna bother you much. Just wanted to mention that after Carson left us, the situation normalizes slowly. Um, Ways taking some action, and we're it intensified the communication there. She has some okay problems about finding out things, which is normal at the beginning, but yeah, the things are getting better. Um, we still have problems with the failed CA jobs for the pull requests, um, which run on Broadcom infrastructure. We don't have um, access to them, and I guess Wei also doesn't have access, and she also has some other team, some operations team for help. Uh, and we wait a bit longer there. We also plan to move things to GitHub Actions. I mean, we're like at ASAP so that we can save on infrastructure costs where the tests run and let everything run as GitHub Actions where possible. Um, we're still working on that. The problem there is that we don't have access to the jobs, and we don't know what exactly do some test jobs for some repos do. For some of them, we know that they run acceptance tests, uh, which are tar- uh, which are testing log aggregator, but for others, we don't know what they do, and I guess we'll contact Way so that we can discuss these things and start uh, changing things.
Okay, just so I understand the problem,
No,
I know that you all have PR jobs that run on Broadcom infrastructure, right? Like
right.
acceptance tests would run on PRs.
Hmm.
Is that the issue that you're talking about, or are you talking about the normal pipeline as well for releasing?
No, uh, the the release pipelines are also another thing. Those are run on Broadcom infrastructure. Uh, Carson gave me some pointers what the jobs do before he left.
Mm-hmm.
So we know we have like a general picture what's going on. But we also have to take a look at the release jobs as well.
So it's both. It's both the PR
Hmm.
and the
Yes,
normal
hmm,
pipeline.
both.
Yeah, ideally we somehow bring them to community projects so that we do not rely on others all the time. Like we
Right.
have to wait, and I think as Carlson left, there are not many people that are that experienced with the either the PR validation or the release creation pipelines.
Yes, that is true. Uh, I am in favor of it being moved to open source, like the release pipeline being moved to open source. But the PR pipeline, I believe right now it spins up an environment, and we don't have the budget to spin up environments for PRs. Like we're not doing that for any other release. We don't even run our pipelines. We only run each pipeline max once a week right now.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the environments and the
Yes, of
budget.
course. Yeah, we were thinking to build a Docker container with all the things
Hmm.
that we need and run cuts inside this uh, container, but still haven't got to do
Yeah,
that.
it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not that's another point because we have to take the some parts of the released post releases and the changes from the current pull request and then
Hmm.
do the shuffling somewhere there. But it wouldn't be easy. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, like in the other releases, if you were to do a PR, if it was a big PR, I would be expecting you to run cats manually. And if it was small, I wouldn't be running cats at all.
Um, yeah, for some jobs where I'm confident that uh, cuts wouldn't matter, and where we see that everything is green from the test, but we only have like good coverage on the unit test, and we have some basic coverage for integration tests. If we improve the integration tests which we have, we could also maybe mm, um, avoid running cuts, because cuts for a log aggregator for our team. I'm talking about our team. For the others, I don't know. We simply have some. We make sure that that the produced log from an application can be consumed via Firehose or log cache API thing. So it wouldn't be hard at all to move everything to better integration tests, so that we can cover the same tested components with another kind of test. Yeah, that's what we want to do as well. Um,
As for the release pipeline, which path do you want to take with it? Do you want to move it to GitHub Actions or you want to move it to Concourse? Like whichever path you want to take, I'm a fan of since you're the one who's working in it.
I don't know. If we have Concourse, the easier thing would be simply to move the jobs, but then we
Yeah.
have to maintain another Concourse instance.
Well, you can join the one. We have an open source Concourse now that you can
Okay.
join.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be a thing which we can discuss. We can join there and then move the jobs there, because for the release pipelines, from the things that Carson showed me, we only have you only it's a normal like creating Bosch release, running test, creating Bosch release, and then uploading the release to the GCP bucket, and for which at, at the moment there's some user which is in Broadcom's password store, we call it like that, and then which is used, but I have access to the bucket, and we're thinking to create a service account and then use it for releasing things.
Yeah, as long as all those things should be in a public bucket. Yeah, they have to be because Broadcom doesn't allow public buckets. So if you have like, blobs or whatever, that's a open source service account. And so you can get a new.
Do we have some password or whatever where we store such things? So that it can
that like I do with the other releases that I'm involved in, we use GCP Secret Manager.
Okay.
And then we sync that to Concourse. And that way whoever has access to GCP has access to it. So I think Logging and Metrics actually has its own GCP account right now.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
You have right access to it, but you have to set some things to move things around.
And I have admin access to it, or I should, so I can help with anything there.
Okay, that would be great.
But if you want to start down the path of moving it to a different concourse, to an open source concourse, I can set up a meeting between us and the people who were Carson's colleagues and talk about how to do that. I'm gonna guess, well, I don't know what their opinion will be on it. But it's open source code, so I don't see, they may not want to do the work, but I can't see why it couldn't be done. Sorry, there are a lot of negatives in that sentence.
And we can We can do the work, but we need that someone
You need access to
give
it.
us the
Yeah,
give us either access to the concourse to move things.
yeah.
I'm also fine if we don't get access, but if we get the job definitions or shell scripts or whatever is being called there,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can replicate that.
Yeah.
That would be also needed in both cases. Either if we migrate everything to concourse or we migrate everything to GitHub Actions.
Yeah.
We would need the scripts practically so that we
Yeah.
don't miss something.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to move forward on that?
That would be great. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So this is about the release pipeline, right? Or did we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And ideally, we move it to another concourse or all GitHub Action, and then we need to share credentials and whatever is required. And regarding the test stuff, Amelia, you just said that running cats is too expensive for community, and we need to find another way to do this, right?
For PRs, yeah.
In our case, I think we can get things covered relatively easy with the, I mean, in complexity point of view, I would say. There is some work needed, but the cuts for log aggregator simply deploy an application and then they see if they can consume the logs from it through the various channels practically. But so we can also cover everything with integration tests and then add them to the peer validation, and that should be cheap.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about the release pipeline, right? And then what's this about? This is something else, right?
It's something else.
Okay. Only if you're done with the first thing.
I'm done with the first thing. Yeah. I'm done with the first thing. And this logger heater is built on top of the code diodes, which are practically like ring buffers, with a twist. Just simply like they act like a ring buffer with either single read and write heads or multiple read and write heads. But the problem or the twist is that if the reader cannot read fast enough as the writer writes things enough, whenever the buffer is full, on the next write the whole buffer will be dropped. The contents of the whole buffer will be dropped. And it's funny that everyone that now we have a few new colleagues here in the team, and they see, oh, but how these things work? Why do we lose like 10,000 logs per second or whatever? And it's because this behavior, that the whole that every log aggregator component is based on the code diet. And we've discussed with Carson in the past about maybe changing this behavior so that only the few elements from the buffer are dropped, depending on how many new items should be written in it. But he told me that he discussed with some people at Broadcom, and they said that the buffer is being used. The Godites are being used, and some people rely on this behavior. So I wanted to bring this question up again, if it's possible that we preserve this default behavior, but we change something so that we have a behavior that suits our our needs for log aggregator at some time, and that's why I wanted to ask.
So you want to figure out who is using this and depending on it.
I've searched through to the our GitHub org, the CloudFoundry org, and I saw that there's some things in the runtime Diego uses, but maybe someone else as well. So I wanted to ask if you know someone who can tell us about the usage and the inner workings of the thing, so that if it's possible to at all to do something else, or we can say we have to live with the things as they are. And
do you know, Jeff? Who would you ask about this?
No, the only person I can think of would be maybe Ben.
Mm.
Ben Fuller, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also
Yeah.
a few years outside of the project.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah,
I
I
can
can poke
contact
around to
him.
see, but I'm not sure. I wonder who Carson reached out to.
He didn't tell me. He simply said that he talked to some people at Broadcom and they told him that it would be too hard to change something. But even if we want to change something, we would preserve the default behavior as it is, and maybe we change the things with a feature flag or something like that. But
I will look into it. I don't know off the top of my head.
no, it's okay. Yeah. Any help would be more than welcomed. If we don't get any, we live with the things as they are. It's not a problem. So. No, really, because like from time
Okay.
to time, this question pops up all the time. Like, do you really lose like 10,000 logs per or not? 10,000 is the size of the buffer, usually everywhere, except for the Dopplers. They have 100,000, and people come and ask us, well, can we raise the size of the buffer? Can you fix the drops or something? So I wanted to ask
Yeah, who's depending
if
on
we
it?
can do something or not. But
Okay, I'll look into it and get back to you.
thank you.
Any other topics that anyone wants to bring up?
I wanted to submit a topic, but someone took my edit rights.
It wasn't me. I don't change those things.
Or maybe I'm logged in with the wrong account. I'm not logged in.
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
blame me
know.
over here. You'll still have it like 2 years from now.
It's just a general, how do we continue here? I dropped the ball on this for a few weeks because I was busy with other stuff. I think we kind of tended towards we need an RFC for this. Do I remember that correctly? I think we didn't really write it down, unfortunately.
I don't remember saying that, but it sounds like a good idea now that you said it.
Damn it. So I was wondering if it's enough to have the issue, but yeah, if you say it would make sense or it will probably be the appropriate way to have an RFC, I can just make that. It's not too much of an effort. And I would then use option 2B because it basically gives us the most control, let's say it that way. Not necessarily the most security, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Plowman is not here. I wanted to ask him if he knows if they can then help also with implementing this, but I'll have to talk with him outside of this meeting then.
Yeah, I suspect that in an RFC that they will want a little bit more design, not technical design necessarily, but like how are you going to interact with it? What is it going to look like type of stuff.
Yeah, we can make that happen. I have some concrete ideas of what this could look like. I mean, it's similar to how Bosch PCAP works. So it's already a good thing that we have this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of implemented end to end. The focus would then be on what the new binary looks like, but that's
Mm-hmm.
also not too complicated.
Good. Sounds like an action item for someone else. Oh. Okay. Anything else? Thank you, everyone. Okay, it was good seeing you all. I'll see you all in Slack or in September.